Hi guys, I'm sitting here making soap right now. I made soap with beef tallow and I'm gonna put some lavender essential oil in it. And I'm just gonna wait until it's of consistency of trace consistency. So it's gotta be like quite a bit more, thicker than that, like a thick gravy. And then you put the essential oil in it. Let you see it. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to some podcasts, and there's a couple things that have come up lately that I thought were like, that pins the tail on the donkey. And there's two things in particular. So I personally voted for Donald Trump because of RFK Jr. And I wasn't very politically minded. I just was more apathetic than anything, because I just thought this feels like two mafiosos like trying to like just be stupid, and they didn't really talk about, the political parties didn't really talk about anything that I really cared about. And maybe as I'm older, I'm caring more. But when RFK Jr. stepped on the scene, I was really interested because of his health aspects to things. Anyhow, so I did vote for Donald Trump. And I'm not regretting it because I don't feel like Kamala was a good option. But one thing I heard lately was the fact, I think it was Huberman, this neuroscientist, was interviewing Jordan Peterson, and Jordan Peterson said, I hope that the Democratic Party does get there, does become a formidable opponent or opposition, and because we need to have that checks and balances on both sides so that we don't have, and we have good options to choose from. Because a lot of people these last few elections were just like, really, these are our options, and it also has instigated a lot of people to think about stepping into a role, some of the younger population stepping in the role of becoming politically, activating politically. And I think that is a really good thing. I can see a lot of things that were good about the Democratic Party and some of the progress that was made, but then I also see some sad things and bad things, and I'm not super into war at all, because I think that we're so messed up where we're at right now that it's just awful. Okay, so the second thing that I was thinking was how there's going to be a massive population with all of this AI going on, that it's going to be like as if you cannot know what is true and what is fake. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? It's actually kind of a good thing in a way, because and I heard somebody say it, they're like, well, like just what's around you is going to be more real. Like you're not going to believe in anything. So you're just going to become more apathetic and like kind of peace out. And maybe that's in part what some of the politicians want people to do, is peace out and not be more politically driven. But I think it does help you relocate your mindset and be more intentional about the community that you have in front of you, the people that are around you, and it helps you refocus yourself. Like me, I'm a Christian, so I just think to myself like, well, what matters is building relationships with people that are close by, that I can see, that I can shake the hand of, that I can see at a Walmart or Hy-Vee or whatever, or friends, local friends, and just building more community and more trust within those people that's valuable. And that's something that, like, I can't do anything just being an observer on my butt, looking at the TV and just having my opinion. I mean, that is a very, that is something that is not, I won't say it's not valuable, but kingdom-wise for Jesus, it's not valuable, and it really isn't valuable to society either. I mean, it's good to learn what's going on and form your own opinions about them, about those things, and vote, and even maybe get involved politically. But you've got to think locally and what's happening in your life, around you, surrounding you, what's happening with the people around you. How can you make life better for yourself and others that are around you locally in your community? And so those are two big things. Like, geesh, I do want better checks and balances, and I do want this political party of the Democrats to resurrect itself in a very people-oriented way that is better. Okay, I'll just go into some things that I liked about the political party-ish stuff. I love diversity. I have a huge diverse background. I speak Spanish. I've seen a lot of racism in my lifetime. And that goes for even some of the ethnically minorities have racial issues with other ethnic minorities. So it's not kind of like just a white on white kind, a white on black or white on brown or white on everybody else. No, there's lots of racism actually within different cultures themselves against different groups of people. I'd call it like tribalism, like being in a tribe. So when the whole Black Lives Matter thing happened, I was like, oh, yay. And then when they said all lives matter, I was like, well, duh, like that's not what their point is. You know, don't say all lives matter. There's obviously a racial aspect, but then there's this other aspect of the heightened, like kind of deeper state, we're gonna create division, but there is racism. And I think that what the Black Lives Matter movement did was, it was helpful for some people that were self-reflective to think deeply about their racism that they have in their own brain and it doesn't even have to be just your own biases about things. My soap is starting to become more trace, but not quite yet. So the racism that you have in your brain, like catching it or bias, and it doesn't even have to be, it can be tribalism type thinking. And when you place people into a certain category in your brain and you're like us and them kind of situation, that ain't good. And always being self-reflective and thinking against that. And also, you know, I've been around people that are just like, I have lived in Las Vegas, and I have a lot of people that were homosexual, bisexual, and so I had a lot of friends that were and are and I love them deeply. I love them. And so looking at them, and for people to look at them or to imagine those people being killed or hated just because of their decision, a life decision or like propensity to either decision, pleasure pathway, morphing lifestyle, propensity for being attracted to the other sex. Like, I don't want people to kill someone over that kind of thing. I want people to be aware of that sort of thing. Where it crept into creepy is the hypersexualization of our children. They're like, oh, let's talk about sex earlier. Let's talk about all sex is fine. And let's talk about all this. I'm like, wow, we just totally biffed it majorly. And then the what I really appreciated was when we were able to actually vote with our dollars, where we could take our children for education, because a lot of especially the Democrats see opportunity. A lot of teachers there's more of a propensity, seems like, that there's the Democrats in the as teachers. But there's lots of Republicans as teachers. I mean, maybe I don't know what the statistic is. And it doesn't matter, frankly. When you were able to vote for your dollars, we had the opportunity to now go to a Christian school, which we felt better about. We just enjoy that our kids are getting an education, and we also don't have to pay for it because we get a voucher. Now, some schools, which is sad, some schools upped their tuition to the point where it doesn't cover our school didn't, but some schools out there, it became, we'll just use this opportunity to hype up the price of school. I'm getting off topic. Anyway, the point is that I'm glad and I'm happy that there is kind of this back and forth checks and balances, that people are stretched in different ways. But I do hope that the Democratic Party I hope both parties are focused on health. I hope both parties are extremely focused on health and peace and the welfare of our nation, kind of getting back to caring about community. And there's so many nuances that are present that people can argue about so many different things. But I'm just thinking, well, you know what? We can argue about different things, but let's not write each other off just because we disagree on this and that. And I'm thinking about a relationship now that I'm in school. I'm just thinking about some relationships at school that, at first some of, here, wait a minute. When you're forced to be around some people for a longer period of time, you get to know them, and you're able to communicably disagree, but also love that person. So what we have right now in our nation is a disassociated community that is very individualistic, that a lot of people claim they don't even have friends. And what it allows to happen is a very big shaping of opinion through popular culture on the internet, which can be very manipulated. And it makes it so that you are not confronted with opposition in the real world, and not forced to engage in it, but forced to work through it. And so now my soap is getting a little bit more trace. Not quite yet though. So I think that what happens is when you're not forced to be around people that have differing opinions and that you can just check out and you can just be like, I don't need you, then, and maybe you don't need them, but as you are around them, as you are communicating with them, you start to, you start to build relationship, and you love you start to love that person despite your possibly varying different ideas and views. And you start to care about the welfare of that person despite your views. And I think that is so tragically sad that we have essentially, we have a throw it away society and a throw it away relationally, and that's making us even more lonely than we're extremely lonely because of that. So this is a tallow soap, and I have started buying soap because I was like so lazy to make the soap, because sometimes in your brain the process sounds arduous and like, oh man, I gotta go read that recipe. I can't wait until the recipe is just in my brain, which yogurt mastered that one. The recipe is just in my brain. So I hope that soap just kind of gets in my brain and I don't have to think about it at all, and not scared of the lye that I have to use, because it chemically is just scary. Okay, anyway, so those were the two things. And I do have hope for the future as far as the war, and maybe people like to know what people think. And so I'm just gonna say, like, about the war, I think it's really sad. I think that I don't know enough, actually. I feel like I don't know enough. I understand that it is bad for, for a nation that's saying death to America to have a nuclear weapon, but did they really? And it is actually scary how easy it is to, I guess, make a nuclear weapon and then start chucking it around. I don't know. What do you guys think? Hi guys, I'm sitting here making soap right now. I made soap with beef tallow, and I'm gonna put some lavender essential oil in it. And I'm just gonna wait until it's of consistency of trace consistency. So it's gotta be like quite a bit more, thicker than that, like a thick gravy. And then you put the essential oil in it. Did you see it? My downfall.